Good morning, everyone. Welcome to my presentation. I am Kamrujaman Sheikh from Liter Textile and Dyeing Limited. I am looking forward to talking about technical auditing. My goal today is to help you understand product safety and requirements of technical audits. First, I am going to present why technical auditing and results of technical audits in 2019. Then I will share product safety. Finally, I will discuss section-wise technical audit requirements. Feel free to ask any question, however I do ask what until end of my presentation. Why technical auditing? Brands or companies want to know before placing an order that their chosen manufacturer has the necessary infrastructure, system, process, capacity and capability to meet their demand. They also need to ensure that local and international standards of quality and safety are consistently maintained across all of their international vendors throughout the manufacturing and delivery process. During the year for it conducted, these are followings: 21st April 2019 via Big W, audit conducted by Intertech or ITS, gate result Amber. 18 March 2019 via Auto, audit conducted by Astor auditing firms and gate result 79% mark. 15 September 2019 Walmart FCCA audit conducted by Vero Veritas and gate result 82.29% mark. It is the highest ever in Liter Textile, also LDC Group Bangladesh. Product safety is the ability of a product to be safe for intended use, as determined when evaluated against a set of established rules. I would like to define critical non-conformance. What is failure to comply with product safety or legal standards? Here the failure put the customers or brand's integrity at risk. Critical non-conformance will result in immediate suspension of business until the caps are satisfactory actioned in conjunction with brand and certification body. The four things are important because the things may present different type of hazard in garments. Across the continents of Europe, America, Australia, most of the countries have garments product safety rules and regulations that depends on the four things. Technical audits, product safety requirement or controlling measures come from the regulations, and that depends on the four things. I am giving an example. Our well-known practices are sharp tool controls and policy, needle management and needle control policy, validation procedures and policy. That's the controlling measure of components, materials and constructions. I'm giving some explanation of four things. Flammability is the ability of a product to ignite or burn with flame in certain condition. It relates to fabric's thickness, construction, features, etc. Cords, dusting and loops. Certain feature of the design of garments that may present hand-theft, strangulation or similar hazard. The feature includes dusting, functional or decorative or functional cords, shoulder strips, belt loops, adjusting tab, etc. Components, materials and constructions. Feature and components of garments that may present a hazard of choking, aspiration, ingestion, cuts, piercing. The feature includes small parts, attaching components like button, rivet, space fastener, sequent, among others. Others are sharp edges, sharp points, foreign objects like needle, pins, loose components, broken metals, etc. HBAC chemicals may present carcinogenic, mutagenic, reproductive, respiratory, or toxic health hazard. According to risk regulation, about 269 chemicals included as basic chemicals that are highly health hazard. Regulation on flammability. Across the world, in different countries have regulation on flammability, regulation on cords, dusting and lobes, regulation on components, materials and construction, regulation on chemical, small scenario of product safety related issues across the world. The penalties under the Australian consumer law can be very high. For false and misleading claims, fine can up to 10 million Australian dollars. The recalls come from different agencies in the world. As a result, buyer becomes crazy on the product safety issue. The charts compare category-wise product recalls in 2019, where US CPSC recalls in clothing 6% and toys 5%. Health Canada recalls in clothing 11% and toys 6%. EU-RAPEX recalls by category in clothing 19% and toys 62%. SCCA recalls by category in clothing 1% and toy 15%. Recall percentage by agency. EU total recalls 1536 recalls. EU-RAPEX 48%. SCCA recalls 34%. Health Canada 11%. CPSC 7%. Health Canada 30%, EU-RAPEX 53%, CPSC 25%, SCC 2%. Top left area chart shows month-wise recalls by different agencies. January, EU-RAPEX more than 100. Top right bar chart shows total recalls in 2019 by agencies, where EU-RAPEX recalled more than 700. Bottom left, EU-RAPEX clothing and fashion accessories recalls. Bottom right bar chart shows clothing and fashion accessories recalls in 2019, where more than 150 recalls by EU-RAPEX. Product safety requirements. Or controlling measure of 4 things. A proper system of sharp objects record, proper system to record broken or damaged needles, scissors, thread cutters, tack gun needles, and hand stitch needles, etc. at both sample rooms and production floor. Sharp objects tracked and attached. Sharp objects such as trimmers and scissors effectively tracked, for example that they are permanently attached to this machine and there is regular monitoring. Metal detection process. Factory has sufficient and proper metal detection process for all the products. Mandatory metal detection is mandatory for all production areas. However, it is critical for the following areas: all children's clothing, all nightwear or underwear and lingerie. Number 4, pull strength equipment. Factory has pull strength equipments for buttons or snaps or rivets or any other fasteners, mandatory for children wears. Number 5, lock stitch for button attach. Factory to use lock stitch for button attach, mandatory for children wear. Snap or rivet attaching process and machinery. Snap or rivet or any metal fastener attaching process and machinery in the factory. Arrangement of non-conforming goods and materials. Arrangement for disposal of non-conforming goods and materials. Chemical test for printing items. Factory maintain chemical test for printing items for children wear. A rich chemical policy as the JOS UK chemical control process in line with rich chemical policy. Thank you. Please stay with us. Next video on Section-01 technical requirement.